Hello. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to update Jackrabbit Relay. And I have already been pushing several updates that need to be talked about. So I am on the GitHub Relay page. Let's go down to this part that talks about updating. Here are a couple instructions we'll need. So let's click and copy them. And now go to our VPS. And now we paste these instructions. We have now pulled down the most recent update, and we are left in the GitHub Jackrabbit Relay folder. This is fine because this is now where I need to begin talking about the changes. I'm going to do so through Midnight Commander, just because it's easier. Let's start with a new folder, the Extras folder, which contains a script or a program that I will demonstrate very shortly. But for now, I want to talk about a major change. First is there is an automatic update script now. Well, I shouldn't say automatic because you still have to run it manually. But it does the same commands with one statement that we just did. So first we're going to the base folder, and now tab key, go up and into your main Jackrabbit Relay folder. Now, Jackrabbit Relay, the update process will not update your Active Directory. This is your Active Directory. This is what Jackrabbit Relay runs out of in the production state. This is your GitHub directory. This is what all updates get pulled down into. I deliberately set this process up so that you can back up your code, you can make secondary copies of it, whatever you need to ensure you have a proper functioning system before you do the update. Now, as you can see, this file has been updated. The GitHub is on the left side. The production site is on the right side. Make sure you are aware of exactly where you're at. We're going to copy. And now we're going to overwrite the older version with the newer version. So now our placeholder command has been updated. But we still have a secondary precaution. We need to update the actual exchange placeholder. I know this seems tedious, but I built in these safeguards to help protect working systems. Not all upgrades go well. This helps ensure you have multiple avenues to keep a working system working. And of course, the copy command is done with F5. And then OK. Again, another safeguard, and it shows the two commands. So yes, I am sure. Updating really is very easy, but it does have those extra layers of protection built into it. So now let's exit out, and that's F10. And now we are back and running. Now, when you update your place order module, you do not need to restart the server. The update is live as soon as that copy takes place. So all new orders will automatically go through the updated place order module. So now let's go into extras. And let's look at the new script, or the new module that is here. List markets. If you enter it by itself, you get a list of all the exchanges theoretically supported. Now let's take an exchange we've already worked with. Now if you press enter, you are going to get the rate limit of a cautious level. This is going to take forever at this point, but it's fine. The purpose of list markets, with the exchange you give it, this is the actual coin name the exchange uses. The exact market you have to put in your markets command. The minimum coin amount. So in this case, 1 inch perp is what you can purchase, and this is the minimum cost amount. Now, an issue that came up was regarding Binance. So I'm going to break this, and it's going to make a mess. That's fine. So I'm going to go to Binance. This time I'm going to give a second number. I want this to work at 10 millisecond delays. Coin exactly as given, the market, the minimum amount of the coin, the minimum cost amount required. So let's break it, and now let's go one step further. You can use more, but I'm going to use less. Both do the same thing, which is pagination. More only lets you go screen by screen, less lets you go forward and backwards through screens. That little bit of Linux jargon sounds confusing, but it's really not when you work with it. So in this case, less is more. And it is now loading the market, and when it gets one screen, it will show up. So let's find, okay, Ether BTC is a spot market. This is the minimum amount of ETH. This is the actual cost that you would have to pay in BTC. I know that sounds confusing, but let's take a look at a coin that's a little easier to see. BTC minimal amount is 0.0001 BTC. The exchange has a minimum $10 threshold. So, in order to purchase BTC, you need 10 USDT minimum. Now, the thing about less is you can move up and down and go backwards and forwards. That's why less is better for large markets. Now, this program is important because you can use it to find out which exchanges are likely to work. with Relay as they are. Let's get rid of the junk. Let's go and see if Kucoin works. If this program is able to analyze the market from the exchange, there is a very high probability Relay can trade on it out of the box. Now, I didn't put any timeouts in this, so it's going to be slow. Let's see if I can speed it up a little bit. So 100 millisecond rate limit. That's a little better. Of course, to break it's just Control C. So as you can see, minimum cost of the coin, minimum cost of the quote are what you need to pay to get it to function properly. And you will see that some exchanges are more expensive than others. So Kucoin will most likely work. I'm going to abort this. I'm going to bring up Binance US. Of course, it helps to spell right. And now it's going to load the market. And now we see that most markets have a $10 minimum requirement. And we've loaded every single market. Now let's load FTX US. And let's try to lower this to make it even faster. The rate limit is a trial and error process that will actually help you figure out what you need in your configuration file. And as you can see here, these two coins have a minimum purchase of $30. This one has a minimum purchase of $11. Now let's see if we can find an exchange that won't work. Okay, currently this exchange is not supported, so it will not run in Relay. Let's see what else we can break. Okay, Bybit works out of the box. Minimum 1 BTC. Yeah, I won't be trading on this exchange. Now, pay attention to the market. This is important. Some markets say future. Some markets are futures. And that's too much for my budget. This is the minimum you must purchase on this exchange. Ouch. Okay, now let's see what other exchanges we have. The program with no arguments gives you all of the exchanges that it could support, theoretically. So let's see what else we can support. Oh, let's just pick something randomly here. And let's try a 10 millisecond delay. Okay, that's a bit of a steep minimum. $400 just to pick this one coin. $47. Okay, now this demonstrates rate limit. That's the point of this script. Along with getting the exact name of the market, the exact name of the coin, and your minimum price for your coin. Rate limits mean this is too low, and you need to raise it such that this disappears. Still too low, which means we probably triggered it, which means we probably won't be able to trade on it for several minutes. So this script can help you find the best value to add into your configuration files that will let you safely trade without hitting this rate limit. So let's go to let's see what else we can pick up. What other exchanges can we try? Okay, it looks like Hit BTC will work out of the box as well. Okay, so let's get out of that. And let's try Polonix. Of course, check your spelling. Okay, it doesn't support the 1 minute time frame. That's interesting, and I'm going to have to try to figure out what it does support. But if anything unusual about an exchange, it will tell you, which does make it quite handy. Okay, I've never heard of this exchange, but it looks like it will work right out of the box. So $27 minimum for this coin, $5 minimum for this coin, so forth. So there you have it. A tool to help you get the exact coin name, including symbols, the exact market, and the exact minimum value you will need to spend. Now this is in dollars, which is typical for exchanges that have these kinds of limits. As you can see, most of these exchanges deal with a stable coin or fiat currency when they have these kind of limits. Okay, so let's get out of this. Let's go back into the recap. This update added the update script. So now when you want to check for updates, you just type update. It added the extras area where extras modules will be placed over time that can help with finding situations out, like the rate limit or a particular coin name, or the number of exchanges that are supported. Now, as I said, it does not update your production directory. The update process only updates the GitHub directory. you can literally make a backup copy. In fact, let's get out of this. Let's go back to the main home directory. Bring up Midnight Commander. Now let's copy to backup. And it created a folder called backup that is everything I originally had. So that is critical in terms of being able to make sure you keep a working system at all times. So be sure you get frequent updates because this is aggressively updated. And always remember, when you do your production system, to be sure to update your place order files manually. There are 2 steps. You need to update the CCXT folder, or excuse me, the CCXT file, and from there you need to update your active exchange file. Now, as the system grows, there might be more than one type of place order file. That's important, and that can also mean different approaches for trading. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit with that. So for now, let's just keep it simple and go from there. Remember, you do not need to restart your server. To see that your server is running, it is, and you should only see one line. Theoretically, you could run more than one relay on one VPS, but let's not go there right away because that is a headache you probably don't want. Until you really know the system, just stay with one and only one. So it's easy, simple, and a lot of exchanges just work. Until next time.